Hey guys, welcome back to another video in iRacing, and I'm sorry it has been a while since the last video was released on this channel, and there's a reason for this. Did the 4 hours NEC solo, sucked all the motivation and I don't know, for racing out of me, so I put away the wheel stand and didn't touch it for some time, and I came back just last month and just had fun again, more or less. I was totally off pace, and I'm very sorry for everybody I murdered in GT3 and Porsche Cup. So I thought myself, let's go back to kind of the basics, not MX5s, but let's go back to GT4s. And I bought myself this beautiful, as you can see in the background, this beautiful Aston Martin, created livery for this with my favorite colors, and it's so nice to drive. In my opinion, I really like to drive it, and it sounds amazing also. I mean, listen to that. So here we are at Mugello. On P3 I was able to post a 157.875, which I'm very, very happy with. I started in the beginning of this week with medium to low 158s, and today, this race was on Wednesday, so the second day of the week, I was able to post a 157.875, which is, in my opinion, great. So I was very happy with this. And I think, let us see what this race holds for us. Right, and here we are on the start-finish straight, waiting for Victor to start the race. Keeping it close, second gear, and off we go. Victor gets an excellent start here, gets a jump a little bit on us, and we get the jump on Gertraud, which is actually kind of surprising, to be honest, because she seemed to have a very, very good start, but now falls behind quickly and is going to slot in behind us, as we can see there on the monitor. But if we watch closely, she kind of takes the inner line, so I opt for defensive line as well into turn 1 to keep her behind us. So with that being done, we can keep P2 now that we fought for. Now we go into the first chicane, and is it a chicane or is it 2 different turns? It doesn't matter. And Victor gets so wrong and spins out of control, and if you look at the monitor, somebody else seems to hit him after he spun out. So yeah, that is something when the tires are still cold, where you have to be very careful to not spin out, especially on these sausage curbs there. Yeah, so this turn here is something where I will have issues the whole race, and Gertraud is all over my rear there. Now I'm able to pull a little bit of a lead of 0.5, 0.4 seconds, but still, this is, especially for this iRating, you're bound to make mistakes, and then they're again on your rear bumper. So this is just a short respite. As you can see, she's already on 0.3 seconds, 0.2 seconds, and we'll get a very, very good exit out of this this turn here, as you can see. So I take a defensive line again, try to squeeze her a bit, and as soon as I see that she slots in behind us and wants to take in a line, I kind of park on the apex to prevent her from overtaking from the inside line. Now we are hurtling towards the last turn of the track, which is a long left-hander, where you shift down in 4th or 3rd gear. I think in this instance I only shift down to the 4th gear because I wasn't very confident in, or I didn't have enough confidence for these cold tires to not spin us out, as we've seen some people there on the first lap. Right, so the first lap is now done and dusted, and it's 0.5 second lead, and 0.6 behind Gertraud is already Kasper. So I'm really hoping that they fight, and it looks like a little bit like they're fighting, and I really hope that in the meantime I can pull away to deny Gertraud any tow and the likes. And there's quite a lot of gravel on the road. So perhaps now is the best time to take a look at what happened in lap 1 on the first few turns. And there, the whole field hurtling towards T1, and I might have squeezed their Gertraud a little bit, but there was no X or whatever. And apart from that, everything looks really civilized. That is very interesting for a race in the low to mid 1000 iRating area. And let's take a look at the third corner. We know that Victor is spinning out there when we get past him, and then the BMW hits him straight in the back. That is such a shame, but there is even more. This AMG spins out in the same location and hits the BMW. So these are 3 cars spinning out in turn 3, I guess. Such bad luck for these 3 drivers. Right, back to the live action and into the infield. This fast left-hander, take the right curbing, swing over to the left, then a little bit of trail brake to the right curbing, take the whole runoff area on the left side, then turn it on the right, take a little smidge of this inner curbing, and then you can go there with full throttle. And then you can be pretty fast here through these turn combination, which is very, it's fun to drive. Yeah. So if we're looking at the relative now, Kasper can't really get close to Gertraud, and Gertraud can't really get close to me, except the in turns. Obviously you get a little bit closer, but it more or less is very, very stable. It's like half a second between me and Gertraud, and then again between Gertraud and Kasper, which means in turn, if you're making a mistake, Gertraud or me, then we will lose our position to at least the person behind us, probably even 2. So this race comes down to being consistent and not making any mistake, which is great. And now we are approaching turn 1 again on lap 3. And so I have either totally overslowed or Gertraud had a very nice entry into T1. She's right back on my bumper again, which, the pressure's on, I feel it. I'm not a good driver under pressure. I have to admit, I'm prone to making mistakes, so, and I know this, so I'm kind of like, it's probably exactly why I'm making mistakes. I try to get a little bit more space between me and the person behind, and I guess this is something you will have to learn while driving. Having said that, making mistakes, I'm all over this place, entering the infield here, and I'm making a huge mistake going into this turn here. You can hear the tires, they are screaming for mercy, and I'm very, very slow. And also in this turn here, and I have to lift, as you can see on the bottom right, and there was a big hit. I tried to squeeze a little bit, and that was probably not the nicest way of doing it. And there's another contact, as you might have heard it, which pushes me out wide. And at this point in the race, I was so mad. I was so sure that Gertraud tried to just, push me out there. But watching the replay, I think you'll see that I don't think she did it on purpose, and it was just a little bit of netcode. So this is a great example of, just calm down in the race and watch the replay. So yeah, let us watch the replay now. And now we are in the chase cam, and yeah, there's the big hit. And at this point, I don't think that I leave enough space there for Gertraud on the outside. And also here, it's very squeezy, and you can't really see it there, but there is slight contact. It's not a lot. Let's take a look at it from the chopper cam once more, but it's very, very small. Like the contact, like this one is a bigger contact, but this one now is a very small contact. It's very hard to see, but it kind of throws the car off balance and pushes me out wide. But I don't think this was intentional. I was very squeezy there as well. I probably should have left more space. But now let's get back to the chase for P1 and 2. And if we take a look at the relative, like Kasper and Gertraud are now basically side by side, hurtling towards T1. So I am kind of optimistic that if I don't make any more mistakes, or any mistakes, I might be able to catch up again. As you can see there in front of us, they're now fighting tooth and nail, and we were able to close down the gap to around 1 second. At the same time, Piotr is close to 0.5 seconds now, so we have to always keep an eye out for Piotr. But now we got a pretty good exit there, and we were able to extend our lead to roughly 1 second, which is far outside the diveable distance. Not that this hasn't happened in the history of iRacing, but let's just hope, right? And to be honest, like, taking into account that this is a 1.3 SOF lobby, I think it's very civilized racing. So to everybody who was racing in this lobby, thanks a lot for such a great race. There was very little, I think there was no yapping at all on the voice chat, except me perhaps being the whiny and salty dude who got pushed out. But yeah. But let's get back to the race at hand here. So from this right-handed long turn, Kasper and Gertraud get a great exit, and I don't, which means the distance went from 1 second to 1.5, and I realized this at this point and overcooked it in this corner, which in turn means I lose even more time. So basically in around 2 corners or 2 turns, I lost, well, basically whatever I caught up in the last 1.5 laps or whatever. So that was tough, to be honest. Yeah. But we're only on the 5th lap of 8 or 9. The relative shows 8 laps. I'm not quite sure if it were 9. And ignore the timer there on the bottom right of the relative. That's totally wrong. So there's still 3 or 4 laps to go, which is plenty. It's not that many, obviously, but compared to the maximum race distance of 8 laps or 9 laps, then this is just over half the laps. So there's still the possibility for someone to make a mistake there, and preferably it ain't me doing the mistake, but let us see. So far neither Kasper nor Gertraud made any mistakes, so I think the chances are slim, but this is racing after all, and yeah, it's not over until it's over. And well, here we are in the last lap, now going towards the last turn of the race, and as you can see on the relative, I wasn't able to catch up. I made a few mistakes, and none of them were really big, just, you know, going in too hot in some corner or whatever, and here my car upshifts. I don't know why, it wasn't me, at least I can't remember, I was wondering at that time. Yeah, so no big mistakes from my side, but none from Gertraud and Kasper, so I wasn't able to catch up. And yeah, fair play. That was a lot of fun. I think it's worth mentioning that we had 8 seconds lead to Sean behind us in P4. So yeah, these are the classified results here, and yeah, I'm really happy with that. Both numbers are green. This is always a plus. A 0.05 safety rating. Would have hoped for a little bit more, but the 4x really hurt at that point. Regardless, it's positive. So I think this is the main takeaway of it. iRating plus 82, also pretty great. As I tanked a lot during the Okayama Porsche Cup week. That was horrible. Anyways, so yeah, so I'm really happy with the results here. With that being said, thank you very much for watching, for staying with me, and I hope you had a great time, and see you in the next one.